I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. Running out of breath. Okay, move, Tuggy. Boy, I'm gonna sit in the middle of the floor. I gotta walk. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. Oh, it's a lot. The first time I can get it good, but that second time, it's like I'm gonna have to take a deep breath and then pace myself with it. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. I'm a spiritual warrior, straight spiritual gangster. Yeah, baby, that's gonna be hot. When the Father gets done working with me, man, they ain't gonna be able to stand a chance. So many for the kingdom. So many for the kingdom. Get them out the grips of Satan. So many people asleep, man. Babies that ain't had no real substance to be able to grow. Like my mom. My mom loves the Most High. She is in communion with the Most High. And I see the Most High operating in her life and our lives all my life. All my life I've seen it. I've been a witness to it. My mom is a spiritual warrior. Oh, yes, she is. She had to go to war for me. And my brother. We grew up in the hood. We grew up in a really bad area. Gunshots was my lullaby. Gangs run the territory. I was gang affiliated. And my mom had to go to bat for me. I was not an easy child to raise at all. I've always had a very strong spirit. And I grew up doing a lot of bad things. I was yielding my temple for evil. And I was unaware. I was unaware that my body was a temple for one. And even though I knew things were bad, I didn't understand how it grieved the Father and how it went against His will and the nature that He created me to be and operate in. I didn't understand these things. These are principles, that get stamped out as we grow up in this world and we get taught things. Our perspective starts to get formed for us. It gets shaped and molded as we move through this world, as we go through the schools and the churches, Sunday school and Bible seminars and all these people as teaching us man's ideology, man's interpretation of who the Most High is. It ain't by the Spirit. Because everything taught and led by this world is a deception. It's a matrix. literally blinded us from the truth, from the true reality, these inner principles that he put inside of us. But yet it gets dimmed out, drowned out, diminished, you know. And that small, still voice that's on the inside of all of us is more prevalent when you're a baby and when you're a child. Children are more spiritually connected to the Father than an adult or a young adult, you know. Because as we grow up in this world, in this society, we become our reality. But our reality is literally a deception. Our reality is literally the world that's been pulled over us to blind us from the true reality, from the real truth. Like, who is the Most High? You know? He has always been there in my life. He's always protected me. I just had a conversation with my mom, and it was mind-blowing because I didn't even remember this. I didn't remember this, but I was 4 years old. I remember bits and pieces about how I had a teacher named Miss Lynn, and she was abusive to the so-called black kids. So I went through physical abuse as a child from my racist teacher. I kind of remembered that, but it was like bits and pieces I could remember. Like, I remember her name, I remember bits and pieces of different things that happened, and, you know, I don't know if I imagined it, you know, like little boys being taken to the bathroom and being molested. I don't remember a lot. I blocked so much out of my childhood. You know, I in some ways I had a traumatizing childhood, you know, and I had a traumatizing, I grew up being traumatized, like, constantly. But at the same time, the Most High was there. I apologize for the weed eater in the background. I know that's loud. I don't pick and choose when I pick up my phone to do these things. So yeah, I'll just wait a second. And I can actually, you know, cut it out, so I can filter it out. I guess I have to wait to speak. I really don't want to do that. You know, I want to be able to just speak freely as the Spirit gives utterance. But yeah, I can't hear. So, dang it, you know. I'd really be glad when they stop. Thank goodness he's moving away. Gosh, man, that thing is so loud. Oh my gosh, is he coming back? I really need to do my exercise. Okay, good, he's gone. So anyway, my mom told me that I was healed by an angel. Um, I was, as a child, I started, like, when I closed my eyes, I seen these red dots. Like, every time I closed my eyes, it was these red dots, like, different sizes, just dots, these red dots in blackness, and come to find out, I had an injury because I was hit by a lead pipe by my teacher. She had hit me in the head, and I didn't remember these things. I didn't remember it. And then another time I hit my head on a desk. Like, Satan has been trying to, like, destroy me all my life, and there's a reason for that, because he was afraid. He was afraid of me, and heck, I didn't know. I didn't know that the Most High was going to raise me up. I didn't know he was going to intervene in my life and meet me where I was and be like, hey, I've chosen you. Get up and walk with me. And I listened. That's the thing, Many are called, but few are chosen. I had the ears to hear, man. I had the ears to hear. I had the heart to receive. And I had the eyes to see. I had the eyes to see for the longest time. I seen with my own eyes growing up all my life. I seen these things all my life, and I questioned them. But my heart had been hardened due to the flesh and the blood ritual, the things that I was eating, the things that I was fed all my life. And the ears to hear, the Father gave that to me. He gave that to me, and he guided my path to where I would hear his words, like his spirit, commune with my spirit. And it bared witness to the things that I seen, and my heart began to be transformed. I no longer see the world the way I did even 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, I no longer see these things the way I once viewed them, because I'm viewing these things through the eyes of the Father. And I'm grieved a lot in my spirit because of the suffering. I feel the pain. I still suffer in my own life, in poverty, going without things that I want and need. It's no fun to live in poverty. I grew up struggling all my life. And I grew up watching these celebrities and how they're puppets. Like, they all do the same thing. And I hate getting off on a sidetrack, because this is a side note from a whole. I've seen the deception, and I've seen the illusions all my life. Like, why are all these celebrities making the same poses? Why are they all doing the same gestures? Why are all these symbols, like, a part of a system, a part of a cult? All these companies, all these things that they set up over us, all these things they indoctrinate us with. The school system, religion, all of this. It's like, where do these things come from? Because they're not of the Most High. But people The Christian church primarily has pulled a wool over our people's eyes, and they blanket things as a whole instead of breaking it down so that people can really grasp what's going on. You can't as a whole say that, yeah, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, and yeah, there's wicked and there's evil on this earth, but there's the Most High and there's good people, and we can't blanket it like that. Yes, we realize that, but at the same time, we need to be able to pinpoint accurately, be able to tell you how we have been programmed, how we have all been deceived, and how we have all had our reality shaped and molded for us. And it is by all of these structures that were placed over us: religion, government, schools, big corporations, the medical industry, all of these things, the monetary system, all of these things that were enacted over us, governing over us, forcing us to take part of this system. That was not from the Most High. That's not from the Father. That's from Satan. That's from the one they call Lucifer, the one that wants to control the whole world, the one that wants to deceive the whole world, the one that said he's going to set himself up like the Most High. He has done that on this earth throughout all the things that govern over us in our lives. Religion has binded the minds of the Father's people, and it's hard for them to break free. A lot of them are babies in the faith. They are babies in the faith of the way. Yes, they love the Father. Yes, they believe in the Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world calls Jesus. Yes, they try to live a righteous life. Yes, they try to live a good life. And they go to church and they try to carry themselves in a loving, upright manner. And yes, they have communion with the Father. But at the same time, they are under a lack of understanding that there is a great transgression that they're doing, and it is a direct transgression against the Father, yet they don't know. They honestly don't know. And as I approach this, I want to approach it in the manner of compassion and love and mercy. I love my mother. I would never want to hurt her. I would never want to grieve her. The words that I speak is going to elevate her because she once questioned it before. She once had it in her heart and in her spirit that eating animals is wrong and is against the Most High. It has always been. It has always been. His word didn't change. His word never changed after he created everything. He blessed everything. He told us to be fruitful and multiply. Not just us, but the animals as well, the fish as well. To multiply after their own kind. And fill the earth with images of yourselves. He gave us all a diet, that which grows from the earth. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I see it in my cat, in my pet. I see the Spirit of the Most High in him. The Spirit of the Most High is in all things living that He created and blessed and called good and very good. His Spirit dwells within us. We are all a part of the household of the Most High. Howbeit that the animals are being slaughtered by the billions in slaughterhouses, brutally murdered. People need to be made aware. We need to be made aware of what's happening. The atrocities against the animals. The outright inhumane treatment. The Father never desired the flesh and blood. He never desired the death of His creation. He never desired for us to slaughter his beautiful creation, His beautiful animals that He blessed and gave a habitat to, created their food, their sustenance, said, "This shall be meat for you, for both them and us." Our verse was in Genesis 1:29. Genesis 1:29. And excuse my cat. Tiger, chill out, baby. Chill out. I'm recording, okay? No. Anyway, you see how cute he is? Anyway, in the very next verse, Genesis 1:30, He gives them the same diet. It says, "This shall be meat for you." You cannot go outside. I said no. No. You are not a Tom. You are a house cat. Now be quiet so that I can continue to record, okay? So anyway, that's the word for today. And that was what was on my heart. You know, I started by saying that there was an angel. Getting to this story that blew my mind. My mama told me this morning that this doctor came in. You know, I was sitting there, you know, in the doctor's office. My mama was there, and this doctor came in and looked at me, and my mom told him what was wrong, you know, and how I was seeing these red dots as I closed my eyes. And the doctor told her, "Yeah, I can fix that. Yeah, we can fix that. Definitely, we can fix that." And he comes over to me and he, you know, does this and does that, and it's like, "Yep, all right, and this, now you're good. You're good to go," something like that. And you know, he said abruptly that he had to go, and that that I wouldn't be having no more problems, and that he had to go, and he left. And then moments later, another doctor comes in. And he's like, "Okay, so what's going on?" My mama told him, and she was like, "Well, the doctor already came in and saw her." I know I'm gotta use the, I guess, you know, right pronouns. I've been going by him and he, and you know, to be honest, I prefer that still. That's where I'm at right now. But when I'm talking about my mom, I'm gonna give her the respect to not manipulate her words, so I'm going to say it how she said it. That she told this doctor that there had already been a doctor that came in that saw her and told us that she won't have any more problems. And the doctor looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. I don't see no issues here." And so, but the doctor told my mom that, "Hey, we don't have a doctor here by that name." You know, because he was like, "What doctor?" And my mom was like, "Dr. So-and-so." And he was like, he looked and he went to go check and he was like, we don't have a doctor that works here by that name." See, angels have been intervening in my life all my life. Yes, they have. Man, I got stories I can tell you. And you know, I don't want to just ramble, but I will tell you this one story because it's coming to mind right now. I can't tell you how old I was. I don't know. I was a child and I was in grade school, and I was walking to school. I was in Chicago at this time, and I was a few steps away from the stairs to going up, leading up to my school, and there was this guy who was running towards me. You know, black dude. It was a brother. But as I was looking at him, in his eyes, it seemed like he had ill intentions towards me. Like he was gonna either hit me, or I don't know what his intention was. I'm not even gonna begin to speculate. I have no idea. But I felt in my spirit that he meant malice towards me. And as the guy got closer, as he was jogging towards me, at a steady pace, he was coming towards me, and as he got closer, the look on his face changed from malice or ill intention towards me to all of a sudden terror. Like, I don't even really know how to describe it, but the dude looked extremely terrified. Like he seen something. It scared the living crap out of him. It scared him to his deepest core, and he took off fast. Looked back, almost stumbled up. He took off. I don't know what he seen. I got no reason to make this stuff up. It's things like this in my life that I've went through that I seen. I didn't see what the heck he seen, but whatever it was, dude took off, and he was scared. He was downright scared, terrified. Whatever he seen terrified him. And yeah, that's that. I jogged up, went up to the school, and But anyway, I'm not gonna drag this out. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to make my videos too long. Like, I'd rather do shorter ones and, come back as the Spirit leads and guides me to do so. And again, I apologize for the loud weed eaters out there. That's how I woke up this morning. I really hate waking up like that, especially when I don't go to bed until late. But anyway, Shalom.